Our last section in chapter 3 is section 3.4 called Congruent Triangles. So you already know what congruent means. It means exactly the same. So two triangles are congruent if and only if all of their corresponding parts are congruent. So how many parts do triangles have? Well, they have 3 sides. We know that. But they also have 3 angles. So that equals 6 total parts. Writing two triangles are congruent can be written like this. Triangle, and I'm just going to make up a couple names here. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. This is called a congruence statement. So below there, see, given triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, identify all the corresponding congruent parts. You don't even need a picture to do this. You could do that strictly based on what you see right here. Okay, but we do have a picture below. You can see how it goes. So for angles, the first letter goes with the first letter, the second letter with the second letter, and the third letter with the third letter. For sides, the first 2 go with the first 2, the last 2 go with the last 2, and the first and third go with the first and third. Notice that the vertices of the two triangles correspond in the same order as the letters named in the triangles. So let's mark up the figure as we see ABC is congruent to DEF. So you can see I have A and D marked the same, B and E marked the same, and C and F marked the same. And then sides, AC and DE are marked the same, AC and DF are marked the same, AB and DE are marked the same, and BC and EF are marked the same. You can write a congruent statement in any order that you want. So here's an example of 2 congruent triangles that we're going to change the order around. So DXL is congruent to what? Well, D goes with T, X in the right triangle goes with X in the left triangle, and L in the right triangle goes with L in the left triangle. So DXL is congruent to TXL. Or we can write LDX. LDX would be congruent to LTX. They mean exactly the same thing. And XLT would be congruent to XLD. So all of these statements mean exactly the same thing. They're just telling you that those two triangles are congruent. So example 1 says name all the corresponding congruent parts without drawing a picture here. So I know angle P is congruent to angle S. Angle Q is congruent to angle T. And angle R is congruent to angle W. But then also, side PQ is congruent to side ST. Side QR is congruent to side TW. And side PR is congruent to side SW. Go ahead and pause the video and try example 2. Here's the answers that you should have gotten in any order. It doesn't have to be in that order. All right, example 3. Given that those two triangles are congruent, what is segment HT congruent to? HT is congruent to segment DG. What is angle O congruent to? Angle O is congruent to angle W. Pause the video and try example 4. NI is congruent to SO, and angle L is congruent to angle W. Right, so example 5 says, what angle is congruent to angle ACB? Don't even look at the picture. ACB is congruent to DCB. That says find the value of x. Now here's ACB right here, and it's congruent to DCB. Remember that right angle symbol means it's 90. So I can set 2x minus 16 equal to 90. and x is 53. Part B, what angle is congruent to D? Don't look at the picture, look up here. Angle D is congruent to angle A. Find the measure of angle D. Well, if this is 49.3, this is also 49.3. All right, this doesn't tell us to do this, but we can also find the two angles at the top based on what we learned last section. If this is 49.3 and this is 90, to get this angle, we can do 180 minus 90 minus 49.3. Here we would get 40.7. Both of these would be 40.7. All right, one more time, let's pause the video and please try all of example 6. Come back when you're done. And here are your answers to example 6. Example 7 and 8. Example 7 says triangle PET and triangle SIM are congruent. So let's stop there and let's draw two triangles that are exactly the same. We're going to name the first one triangle PET and the second one triangle SAM. Make sure you put the letters in the same order. So P should be where S is, E where A is, and T where M is. PE is 14, ET is 18, and TP is 21. And we also know SM is 2x plus 7. If you've drawn your picture correctly, this is going to be a very simple problem. So it says find the value of x. Well, x is right here. And SM must equal PT. Subtract 7 and divide by 2. Same thing for the last one. Let's draw two triangles that are exactly the same because they tell us they're congruent. And let's label one CUB and the other one SOX. And label everything that we know. So we know angle C is 22, angle X is 58, and angle U is 15x plus 40. It says find the value of x. Well, we don't have a full triangle completed, but we know that B and X must be the same. So if X is 58, then B is also 58. And now I have all the angles of this triangle. So I can set up my equation. 22 plus 58 plus 15x plus 40 must equal 180 degrees. Combining like terms here. And subtracting 120 and dividing by 15. We get our answer is x equals 4. That is the end of chapter 3.